It was me and him.
No ways.
Yes, it was me and him.
You touched on something I think that is important. It's the other term is you don't strike when the iron's hot. You strike until
It's hard.
that changed my life. People you know the most
Yes.
are not the ones to offer the help, you know.
What's the price of being an innovator? What do you care?
And also, never getting your flowers, even though you are being bitten, but they still won't give you your flowers. Don't, bro. They don't, bro. They don't. And I think that for me has been one of the most hardest lessons, also because there is a difference. Imitation is not appreciation.
Yes.
But that one definitely hurts when I'm a popcorn in the woods sitting Ama Kip Kip.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that is fire, call it that. But the competition must not stop the collaboration.
Yes.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
Welcome to another very special episode of Dead Radio with your boy Ini. And today we have probably one of my favorite people in culture, definitely one of your favorite people in culture. We're gonna let our guests introduce themselves, we're gonna get into their life story, and you know how we do, extract those jewels for you guys to use in your everyday lives. So without further ado, yeah?
Shabo said, I and I, Ini.
Yeah.
All right. Are you good?
I'm good, bro.
Awesome. So should I go?
Yeah, you can go.
Molweni, yazibulisela kuni nonke. Igama nguSiyabonga. Ifani ngungwekazi. Isithakazelo ngesiZulu, ngesiduko, ngesixhosa, ngubhele, ngulanga, ngumafu, nguqunta, ngukhuboni, ngundabezitha. Zalwa ngumamcirha, dinqula amanqarhwane, dinqula norhadebe, sonke isihlwele, sonke izinyanya, sonke isiduko, all protocol observed.
I love it. Thank you so much,
It's
bro.
a pleasure, my brother.
How are you doing today, right now in this moment? How are you feeling?
I feel absolutely amazing, my brother.
Dope.
So amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I love Mondays. Mondays are actually my favorite day. I use the anxiety of the week to kickstart me. So
Nice.
I've just reprogrammed Monday in my mind.
Nice.
Yeah. I think to predict the future, you have to look into the past.
No doubt.
And to understand who you are today, we have to give people context of where you come from, right? So I think let's start your story from the beginning. Tell us about young Siya and where he grew up.
Siyabonga semncinci when he was young was called Mbombo actually.
Mbombo. Dope.
The name comes from I used to watch Ushaka Zulu with Henry Cele.
Boom, boom. Okay.
Exactly. So at a young age, I used to have a shield made out of cardboard and a spear made of like iron rod, and I ran around the hood, boom, 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 boom.
Crazy.
Started doing it by myself, and literally one time I looked back and there was the whole hood with me.
What's with you? Oh, that's fire, bro.
All of that took place in the Eastern Cape in Buma Koloni,
Okay.
a place formerly known as Port Elizabeth, now known Gqeberha, but will forever be Ibai.
Yeah.
Lombathisa abalazio.
Yeah.
Um,
Were you always an extrovert, even as a kid? Or were you an introvert? Or were you somewhere in the middle?
I was definitely always an extrovert. I was going to say introvert.
Yeah.
I was definitely always an extrovert,
Okay.
energetic, curious, mischievous, naughty.
Okay.
And I always had this belief that there's something out there for me.
Okay.
Even when I was growing up in PE. And I think that came from the music I heard from home and the content that I was consuming
At that time,
via probably my dad and my sisters.
Okay.
Most importantly, my sister that's 2 years older than me, her name is Anele.
Shout out to Anele.
She's one of the people that really is an individual and authentic. And she really turned me on to a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
She's the person who made you understand your individuality.
Not understand it, but be proud of it and be willing to explore it no matter what people say. She's that kind of a person.
Okay.
And really, I think even at home, you know, my father was the same, my mother was the same, my other sisters are the same.
Okay.
But they were a bit older.
Yeah.
So I really connected
with her,
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just that
Dope.
that thirst, man, for life.
For life. I hear that. And I feel like
the thirst and the taste for life.
I feel like you still have that today.
I think even more now because when it was back then, it's a gut feeling. It's a hunch. And then you get proven that you're right.
You're right.
It just, then the hunger becomes insatiable, you know.
Because it goes from theory to practical.
To proven.
Yeah, to proven.
From theory, from theory to fact.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, man.
Okay. And then how does Sia transition from being a young man to like a teenager? Like, have you always been like the person who stands out? And as a teenager, a time when it's like, when peer pressure is at your most high, right? As a young man, did you stand out? And how did you stand out?
Always stood out.
Okay.
Even when I was sitting down.
I feel you. I feel you.
How did I stand out? Academics.
Okay.
Sports.
Okay.
And clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the thing that helped you. And then how did you not fall into the rest of the crowd? Because like peer pressure is like crazy when you're a teenager and you don't want to stick out. You want to be in a group.
I think for me, it was finding basketball very early.
Okay.
You know, I think I was like 12 when I found b-ball, or it found me.
Yeah.
And then also growing up at home, 3 older sisters, I'm the only boy. My dad is a truck driver, my mom's a teacher. I want nice things, I'm in PE. So I know that to get out, I'm gonna have to find something special inside of me that could help not allow my parents maybe not to pay for school because I get a scholarship. I wanna see the world, so maybe sports will help me travel.
I hear that.
And being into basketball, I learned that, so American guys get scouted and they get discovered when they're young.
Yes.
Then the guy comes from a tough environment. Sort of like me, maybe he's tougher.
Yeah.
Dad's not around for him, or whatever it might be, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, these guys play this game, then they go through school, then they go through tertiary, then they make it to the NBA, then they make money. So this is South Africa, Siyabonga. You playing this game, I'm sure something can come out of it. But to get that scholarship, you're also gonna be good at academics. So those were really like the
pillars.
That turned me on.
Okay.
And at a very young age, like television, you know, because that was the portal I would travel to experience things I couldn't afford.
I understand.
You know, Michael Jackson at a very young age was a very big wow to me.
I get that.
Seeing him dance, seeing him dress, and the fact that he always wore things that were not available in shops.
Woo. So that like was the thing.
Yeah, turn on.
Okay.
And just looked like he was not from here.
Yeah.
So those are the things that really like
helped you stand out.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
leaned to those three things, and yeah.
What do you think? Because like me and the homies always have this conversation about how important sports is, not just for the sake of playing the sports, right? Because it teaches you discipline. It teaches you teamwork, right? Were you conscious of these things you were learning through sport, or was it just for the love of sport?
And you're live on Dead Radio. And you're live on Dead Radio.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't conscious of them when they were happening.
Yeah.
I do look back at it now and the way it's shaped me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am cognizant of it now. And you're right, you know, what it is with sports, and I am not disciplined by a long shot. I try my best.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm very bad when it comes to those things, you know.
I hear that.
And I'm honest about it.
Yeah.
I've got no shame about it.
I hear that.
So
I hear that.
the way I got into the basketball was I was short, I was scrawny, and I started off as a basketball referee.
Crazy. So you weren't even playing.
I was playing,
Yeah, but
but then there was this, they used to have these things back in the day called coaching clinics,
okay.
where brands would sponsor people that are in the know about a sport to come teach, and basketball was new then. So there'd be this coaching clinic at a place called the Showgrounds in Port Elizabeth. And we thought it was PE trials when we went there, only to find out it's a referees clinic because there were too many players, and because the game needs to continue, but we needed referees as well, and no one knew how to referee.
Okay.
So I get there, and you know, they're asking questions and I'm answering questions about the rules of the game. And this man, I remember his name was Kurt Minnie. He said, "Yo, who are you?" I said, "I'm Siyabonga." He's like, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 12. He's like, "I'm gonna teach you how to be a referee. Every holiday, you're gonna travel to tournaments around the country." I'm 12.
Yo. So already the world is opening up for you through this sports thing. Okay.
You know? So traveled around the country at 12, was the youngest referee to referee the All Africa Games. Then I started becoming good playing.
Okay.
Started making the Eastern Province team, got scholarship to a high school.
I saw you just posted that recently on the newspaper, and I was like, shit, Scoop's been doing this for a while.
My sister kept, my elder sister, Ozolega, she kept most, if not all, of the newspaper clippings
That memorabilia.
of that time, and I really thank her for that, you know.
Shout out to her.
I later got expelled from that school. Again, mischievous and not perfect, you know. A lot of mistakes were made and still are being made. So the sports, like from starting off in basketball, not being good at it, to being good at it, to getting the bursary to Grey High, to then getting, I remember when I got expelled, I had offers to go to tertiaries, Wits, UJ, Rao then, Duckies, and because I got expelled, they all dumped me. And Natal Tech, which is now called DUT, was the only one that kept me. So I left and I went there.
Okay.
And then I made KwaZulu Natal, after being the opposition and seeing how good these guys are, became one of them, made the provincial team, won a championship two times, and my parents didn't have to pay for the education. It worked out. It worked out. And then through that, got onto television. So the hard work, and even then, I used to wake up, I used to jog. I used to go to the weight room with a dude that put me onto weights. His name is Ian Mkize. He lives in Maine right now. And he put me onto weights because I had to get a bit stronger, you know. So I used to gym every day, played basketball Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, because my goal was to make it to the SA team which eventually happened.
Yes.
The hard work, I remember shooting 100 jump shots a day and 100 3-pointers a day and 100 free throws a day, and I would keep the percentage, you know?
So you were analytical about
Very.
like getting better at this thing.
But just to learn that hard work, to learn how to strive for something, how to want something and put yourself out there and suffer losses sometimes.
Yes, yes.
You know, that was big. That was really, really big for me.
Because sports, with everything, right? Another super important thing is understanding that you will lose.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah,
like,
with dignity too.
Yeah, with dignity.
Yeah, with dignity. And also, you touched on something I think that is important. It's the teamwork.
Yes.
I think being involved in the industry that I'm in now, you know, it's set. There's so many people involved. You learn how to be a great teammate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was a point guard. I'm the court general.
I hear
so
that.
we can lead and we can follow.
I hear
We are the
that.
extension of the coach and we are part of the players on the
I
floor.
hear that.
So that helped me to be able to be a kaleidoscope when it comes to characters and being able to accommodate people.
talents.
Yeah.
Damn. As I'm listening to you explain how you went from basically being trash at basketball to winning championships, right? Did you take that mentality, because that's a lifelong mentality that gets planted in your mind, right? Did you take that to TV? Like in terms of something that I've never done before, something that I
take ball with me everywhere.
I understand.
The
It's a
mind
lifelong
state.
thing. The
of it,
mind state.
The champion mind state. The passion,
Yes.
the hard work,
Yes.
the training, and then because it's b-ball, I'm taking this, it's mine.
It's mine.
Yeah.
I get
So I take
that.
it everywhere, yeah.
Before you got on TV, was that actually like a goal for you?
Not at
It
all.
happened by chance.
Not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I ain't even want to be famous.
I feel
Niggas is
you.
brainless to unnecessarily go through these changes.
Yes, yes.
You
It
know?
happened by luck.
Yeah.
It came to you just like
It did.
basketball.
Yeah, so how it happened was in Durban, between the years 2000 and 2003, a petroleum company had invested in sports, athletics and basketball. And the investment in sports also meant that they wanted to market that investment and put eyes on that investment. So they did television shows. So they invested in a basketball show
Okay.
and they needed commentators.
Yes.
So they flew to Durban because they were holding a tournament for under 18s that consisted of under 18s from around the continent, each country represented. And so, because at the time I was not such a good player, I was still coming off the bench. I was nice, but I was like not good. And because people don't understand b-ball and whatever, I mean, it's probably natural to think that the best players will be the best commentators, but it's not that
it's
way.
actually not,
Yeah.
right?
So these guys, I was about to say these white boys. Their names are Short and Vince.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And shout outs to a dude named James Lennox. Those are the guys that gave me my television break.
Okay.
They ran a company called Octagon, which is where the ETV offices are right now in Kloof Street in Cape Town. So they flew to Durban. They talked to our team, which was called the Nataltech Wolves, came to practice and they asked the coach, yo, we're definitely gonna have you being a commentator. Can you choose another person here? The coach took one of the best guys on the team, Alfred Makonde, who now lives back home in Zambia.
Oh, shout out.
And the first one didn't go well.
Yeah.
So then the coach was like, listen, man, let's not try and get the players. Go to that big mouth.
Yeah, that
short
guy.
mother,
That guy.
right there. My coach's name is Craig Gilchrist, who I just came from seeing. I just landed in Durban.
Crazy.
Was playing basketball at a place called APN,
Crazy.
where everything happened.
Yeah.
And my coach's name is Craig Gilchrist, born on the same day as me, 16th of April. Like it's
Yeah, that's divine.
serendipitous,
Yeah,
you know?
it's so divine.
So my coach was like, okay, let's do it. My brother, I kid you not, when the offer came, I was like, this is the ticket.
Yeah.
Just like the ball was the ticket, you're in Durban now,
This
is another ticket. And my nigga, take this and stretch it. We'll see what happens. Went on, killed that commentating. Vincent Shawn then said, Craig, you could just slide to the left. Siyabonga will keep.
Please come here. Yeah.
Craig was like, I did.
Say less.
And the show was ran in Cape Town. They used to fly the tapes to me. I used to live at Reyes at Natal Tech. They used to fly the tapes in a maxi taxi. There were no Ubers at the time. Ooh. The taxi used to have to come to me. We had Alcatel cell phones. Oh. He would call me. I would come out of Reyes or school to get the tape. Inside of the tape, there'd be money to pay him and pay the sound studio that I'm going to. Go to the sound studio, then commentate. Then the sound would then wrap up the tape, final mix it, I'll get it, and then have to post it again. But that was happening, and I was like, what, 20, 21, 22. So that was also like a nice lesson in responsibility, which I'm not good at, but I try my best.
But you tried your best. I hear that. Okay.
So when I went to the studio to sound record, I remember, because of my love for hip hop, and at the time I got expelled from Grey because I stole a Discman, because I loved music so much.
You were like, I need it.
Well, I didn't need it, right?
I want.
No.
Okay.
This boy's name was James, I think James Smallman.
Okay.
And we used to be, as black guys at the school, we used to chill in one corner. So this kid walked up to us near the lockers, and he looked at us and he was like, what up, Kaffers? And I just got to the school, so I don't know how things
what
are.
the fuck?
You know, so my dudes are just like, I'm like, this is no way this is gonna happen. So I took his Discman as a sort of payment back to him.
Get you. I
didn't even keep the Discman, I gave it to one of my friends.
I get you.
Anyway.
I get you.
One of the dudes that was standing with us went and ratted on me. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I used to do the sound recording. I remember the sound man, because of my love for hip hop and listening to music, I learned how to memorize the verse. I even learned song structure. I'm like, oh, they always start by singing. Then they give you something that doesn't sound like that thing. Then that thing comes back again. Then they give you another thing. Then there's another thing. So I'm learning chorus, verse, chorus, bridge.
Yes.
And because of that memory, then I commentated. And I remember the tape started, and from start till the end of it, I just went one, because I couldn't rap. So I treated the commentary as a freestyle. Tried to be impeccable with the words at a fast pace, with the action hitting you, and try not to make no mistakes. So I did that my first time, and then the sound man goes, sorry man, how long have you been doing this? I said, it's my first time.
It's my first time.
And he was like, wow. Asked me, where did they find me? I told him, and he said, do you know what you just did?
First one take.
I'm like, no. He's like, you just got that on one take. I was like, okay. I didn't ask what
one take is.
I'm like, okay, cool. And I remember on the Mariah Carey remix for Heartbreaker, Jay-Z in the beginning says, bet you 50,000 I'm gonna get this in one take. I'm like, wait, what is that? Then a couple of years later, from commentating, I got offered the job to present the show and be in front of the camera after 2 years. And when they offered me the job, I wanted to complete my studies, and I was in love with a girl that I didn't want to leave. And I was a preacher and a Christian at the time.
Yes.
So I was reading, I think, Jesus' crucifixion. So I was like, if they offered me this job thrice, echoing, if when the cock crows thrice, Peter, you would have denied me. I'm like, if this job offer comes thrice, I'll take it. Anyway, I ended up, the job offer came thrice. I ended up going to Cape Town. And I remember a guy called Warren was my cameraman. And in Cape Town, we would drive and I would choose the location. I'm already dressed in my wardrobe. And we'd go and do links for the show, which was called Slam Dunk. later Slam Dunk, previously Engine in the Zone.
Yeah.
I just mentioned the petroleum company, whatever. And so we shot my first link. I remember, this is after the voiceover.
Yeah.
This is after the Jay-Z Get You in One Take.
So now you've been thinking about this one take thing.
I haven't been thinking about it, but it's happened.
There. Yeah.
And I did the link. Then Warren goes, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, this is my first time. He's like, okay, do you know what you just did? I'm like, no. He's like, you just got that in one take. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, when the cameras roll or something's happening, the less time you take to get it right, the more time we got for beers. So you don't make mistakes and you do it once and once right. And I was like, oh, I get it.
Yes.
And basically you cutting people's time in half.
Yes, yes.
And I was like, I'll take that. I'll one take that.
Yeah, I want to take that. Fuck, okay. Damn, so now you're in a new space. You're in front of the camera. How are you getting better? Because when you were doing sports, you were doing 100 jump shots and you were writing them down and you were analytically like measuring your growth in terms of sports. So how were you measuring your growth for TV?
It's a very good question, bruv. Very good question.
Shout out.
How was I measuring the growth? I always consumed a lot of content. I always read a lot. Magazines, books. So I would judge myself by the people I admired.
Okay.
I'm like, I still don't like watching myself
On TV or
Anyway,
on content.
anyway, yeah.
I get you.
I also don't like hearing myself. But when I do get a glimpse of myself or get a gander with the ear, the way it makes me feel, I'm like, you're very close to those things that make you feel like this, but now it's not away from you. It actually is you that's making yourself feel this way. So that's how I would judge it.
Okay.
You know,
okay. That was your measuring stick.
That was my measuring stick. Tupac. Two fucking Pac.
Yeah.
Revolutionary. Sensitive.
Yes.
Emotional. Powerful. Wordly and worldly. Intelligence, expressionist. Tupac was a very big influence.
And the kaleidoscope of character.
Yeah, very, very big influence.
Yes.
Very early.
Yes.
Very early. Michael Jordan, obviously.
Yeah, MJ.
And then came the hip hop guys, you know, later.
Yeah.
Jay-Z had a very big impact for sure. DMX had a very big impact for sure. Martin Lawrence had a very big impact.
Yes.
The sitcom Martin,
the sitcom.
Fresh Prince, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, so those were the things I'm like, obviously, like, you know.
Busta Rhymes?
Not so much.
Okay, interesting.
To respect him, but I didn't have an influence. Thought he was too comical at the time. And I'm short, scrawny. I needed to look more serious, be more serious. And he's taller, big voice, dreads. He can be as foolish as he wants to be, you know. But I needed a little bit more presence.
Okay. So now, damn. Obviously, that expands to then eventually you getting on, well, your journey on TV continuing, right? When do you start realizing that you're influencing pop culture in South Africa? Like, when does that start hitting you?
It hit me when I was doing the basketball show. And people started dressing like me. And I didn't have a stylist, so I was dressing me. Then I got to Joburg, obviously, because the basketball show from Cape Town it's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But it was happening already. In Cape Town, I was seeing the change already. And then I moved to Joburg Street Journal, 2006.
Street Journal, yeah.
And I remember I literally did it on purpose. I'm like, because had the dreads from the basketball show. And I was like, I'll do the high top fade and leave the dreads at the top.
On top.
Then I'm like, this is going to be the test of
the influence.
If I can just watch. And then it took like a week. What the show went out today. Yeah. Next week, I remember going to Bree in a taxi, and I'm just like, what the? Which is why I still wear a hat now. It's not to, but it's like it got out of hand, and I like feeling special, and I didn't feel special no more.
I feel.
But the impact was there, and I saw that.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
In Cape Town and all the way to Street Journal in Joburg. Yeah.
Street Journal. Damn. Please talk to me about Ama Kip Kip. Ama Kip Kip is such a pivotal moment in contemporary South African youth culture.
Yeah.
Because we had MK on here and he told us from his perspective. And I've just always wondered, damn, because at that time I remember seeing it on the Les, on the Josie videos, and then next thing, it's literally the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life, right? And then years later, I found out that, oh snap, Scoop was actually involved in that. So at that time, what was going on, and why did you guys decide to start that brand?
All right. So I landed in Joburg in 2006. Doing this show called Street Journal. And I'm moving around Joburg to acclimatize myself to the culture. And there was a place in Dobsonville, I think it was called Black Sunday or something, where guys used to go rap there, Pro Kid, Double HP, it was a huge thing. Yeah. And I remember that day, I went there, I was wearing a trucker cap, black, with a white, whatever this is. It had Chinese writing, the Japanese sun.
Yeah,
it's just not just the writing, not embroidered, the sun. So black and red. And I had a t-shirt which was red, but I didn't wear it. I was a little bit cut.
Impeccable.
For the things that matter, sometimes
your memory is impeccable.
I'm not good with people's names though, unless I talk to them
on a consistent
but
basis.
These mattered, so they had to stay there,
Yeah.
So the red t-shirt, I had it in my jeans, which were Tommy Hilfiger waxed denim, black. And that it was black with the wax, so it kind of shined, not tight, a little bit loose. And then the only thing was the carpenter's thing for the hammer. It had the logo, And then I had Air Force One, red and black. And I was just mobbing.
Yeah.
I've already been on Street Journal now.
Yeah. So now niggas actually...
They kind of dive,
Yeah.
And then this guy, whose name is Nkosana, walked up to me and he said, hey man, been watching you, you dope. I live around the corner, I need to show you something. I'm like, what is it? He's like, I go to China and sometimes I buy stuff there and I don't know if it's cool. But I think if you can come to my house, you can verify if maybe I'm right, Then we walked from the gig to his house at Dobsonville, I think extension 2. Met his mom, went to his room, and he whipped out a bathing ape babe star. And I'd been on the internet at this time since 2004, I was on the net. bbcicecream.blogspot.com, Kanye University.blogspot.com. Every day, without fail.
Yes, yes.
And I'm like, when I get my hands on this shit, my nigga.
Yes.
Then Nkosana whipped that thing out, dog. I was like, Ntwana, where did you get this?
Yes.
He's like, Ish, is it fine? I'm like, my nigga.
You have no idea.
I need more. So now I'm seeing that I'm getting bitten. So I'm like, okay. Pharrell said, you can bite the style, but I'm gonna charge you for it. So now I'm thinking, okay, sell something to them. So Nkosana goes overseas again, and he comes back with the gear. This is right when Snoop dropped It Like It's Hot. This is at this time. He comes back with the hoodie for me, hoodies for me. Comes back with 2 pairs of kicks. Comes back with t-shirts for me. Comes back with hats. And I'm now gonna wear it on Street Journal. The video is on, I'm popping out, the video is on and I am wearing the stuff.
Yes, yes.
Then I'm like, yo, my nigga, we need to make a plan. We need to sell this. And I'm like, let's hop on Pharrell and ice cream, food, colorful. He's like, I'm a scopas. I'm like, what is that? He's like, I'm a popcorn in the woods sitting Ama Kip Kip. I'm like, yo, that is fire. Call it that. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yes, my nigga, you on it. That's exactly it. Then we started selling the shoes, and mind you, they were fake. The babes were fake.
The replicas,
They were
we know.
you know what I mean?
We know the game.
But we had the Casio, BBCs, we had a lot of things, you know? And also then I said to him, because you don't want to pay too much money at a mall for the rent. But I had seen these carts in the middle of malls where they would sell like jewelry and stuff. I'm like, let's not have a shop. Let's do a cart. The rent will be probably cheaper. Plus we can still get traffic. Because at the time, it was a thing to have a shop that stands alone.
Yes, yes.
But at the time, the culture didn't know. So you needed more traffic and eyes. So rather than have a standalone shop, why don't you put it in the middle of the traffic? So even if they don't know, they have to pass it and
they'll see
it.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Like, such a brilliant insight.
Yeah.
Because you guys could have wasted so much money,
time,
like,
a lot.
and time, getting a store.
A lot.
Fuck.
So then before we did that, MK was working at Machance. And we knew that there was so much, Machance was right outside YFM. We knew there was so much traffic out there. So MK, can you keep the stock? And if people want something, you just show them what up, you know? Got this on the side, but he was selling for Machance.
Of course,
but you know?
Doubling up.
And I remember, I used to drive a Beetle at the time. I think a bottle green Beetle. And they stole our stock out of his boot, you know?
Shit.
But then we moved on with Nkosana, but obviously MK wasn't around anymore. But then we got that shop. And then we made the tees, that 300% cotton with the raised printing. And at the time, we were popping them for like 200.
They were moving.
Move that dough.
Yeah, they
Young nigga, move that dough. Yeah, so.
Okay.
And that took Nkosana out of his mom's house in Dobsonville to his own crib in Rosebank and a Range Rover. And still doing his thing.
Yeah.
But I left Ama Kip Kip. But he's still doing his thing, and shout outs to him.
Did you know that it was going to have this effect on culture? I mean, you were having an effect on culture. But now creating a brand, commercializing it, and then selling it is like a different thing. But did you know? Like, because from me, as a fan, obviously, of culture, I remember seeing those Jersey videos, them skating, and I was like, oh shit, what is this Ama Kip Kip thing? Next thing.
Shout outs to Deleuze. Shout outs to him.
Yeah.
He's very instrumental with that as well,
Yeah. Did you guys know that it was?
I definitely knew.
Okay.
I definitely knew.
Okay.
But because at this time, I had so many hunches that were proven right. You know,
The theory had become fact.
so many times.
Yes.
So I knew now.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Damn. I want to know because obviously Ama Kip Kip was inspired by Bape at that time, right? And Bape has become like such a global, its fingerprint is on so many brands. What do you think Nigo figured out about streetwear that influenced so many things?
That's also a very good question. What do I think Nigo figured out?
What was it about?
He figured out counterculture. Because one, at that time, to go opposite of the norm and have your shop called Nowhere store.
Yes, yes, yes,
And there's no branding on the shop.
yes.
To have limited amount of the clothes. To also branding. You know, he figured out branding and how to put life into a logo. You know what I mean?
Yes, 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 yes.
And then he figured out to crack a market, you have to break into America. And still today, him and Pharrell are inseparable. And it's crazy because Nigo does interviews and he can't speak English. So how does him and Pharrell communicate? Stop, Nigo. Stop. We aren't. Anyway.
It kills me every time I see him. I'm like, bro, this man actually never compromised his cultural heritage for the world. He's like, yo, yeah, I'm not gonna learn English for you guys, actually. I'm just gonna make superior product and you guys will have to come to me to get it. So I just wanted to tap into Nigo because I feel like he's such a cultural figure, such an important cultural figure.
He's too important.
Yeah.
He's too iconic.
Yeah.
He's too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's switch gears, right? And I want to get your perspective on this. Me and the homies always talk about we're living through the era, I believe, of the downfall of America's grip on the world. I think they've hit a ceiling in terms of culture, in terms of creativity, and I feel like Drake was a big part of spreading what America had and putting it in other people's hands who are not from America. I think that's the most important thing about Drake to me, is that he took over hip hop and allowed the rest of the world to step through the door, right? So even when I look at movies now, when I listen to the music, I feel like America has hit a ceiling. And now that's where the rest of the world comes in. What's your perspective on what young creatives who are from Africa should be doing so that we remain in the driver's seat? So that so that they don't take advantage of us again, so that America never has this cultural grip on the world, so that we can export our culture to the world. What do you think we should be doing? And do you think America has reached a cultural ceiling?
I think that'll depend on your scope of where and who you're looking at in America. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I think there are pockets that have reached their ceiling. And also, there are windows that are way open and have not even scratched the surface of their ceiling. You know what I mean?
I love that, yes.
And I think America, hey, them bras and them ladies over there, they got something, man.
Yeah.
And that's another interview for another
For
time.
another time, yes, sir.
They've got
Yes,
something there, brother.
Yes, sir.
And it's inside of the DNA. It's inside there, you know? I mean, what we should be doing.
Because we have an opportunity to like really influence the world. Because the world has influenced us for so long.
Yeah. And I also, like, to your point, I don't think that America is losing the grip or whatever, or reaching a ceiling. I just think everybody else is also catching up, as it's happening in basketball. With the, you know what I mean? The Olympics, you see.
Yes.
But to stamp on that point of what we should be doing, I don't think we can do anything if we are not well versed and not well schooled about who we are. That's the first thing. Our rooting about who we are is going to dictate how we express, is going to dictate the way we express, and will also help us elongate the expression for a long time, you know? But I'm very proud, and I'm very happy, and I'm very inspired by South African and African creatives. And as much as we talk badly about social media and things sometimes, without social media, my people would not be able to showcase their perspectives, their clothes, their taste, their point of views. They would not be able to sell stuff. And I'm very inspired. The kaleidoscope is long, it's huge. You know huge. All of them, and some of them have sat on these seats, you know?
Facts.
And from clothing to the artists, to the photographers, to the graphic designers, to the gig promoters, to the drivers of the artists, to, you know what I mean? Like, people are doing their thing.
Yeah, people are doing that.
And it is inspiring and amazing.
I hear that.
And I think also, to your point, or to your question, what we also need to do is collaborate. I think because, of course, you know, the pool of money is seemingly small. The competition is good. You can compete healthily, you know. But the competition must not stop the collaboration.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think with collaboration, so much can be achieved. And it's tough. I mean, you look at that Ama Kip Kip story. I think people also mustn't worry about things lasting a lifetime. Things can be intervals. So Ama Kip Kip story is an interval.
That's a key.
But things did what it do. Then parental advisory production, Forever Young.
Yes.
You know, there was an interval. It doesn't have to be, but fill up the glasses. You don't have to keep them the whole time, but do your thing and be out. Don't be worried, you know. So yeah, collaboration is key. Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I just needed, as someone who I believe is a thinker like yourself, I just wanted to find out on how you see the field and what we should be doing. Collaboration is key.
It's super key. It's major key alert, bro. Major key alert. And everybody's not gonna get along. Everybody's not gonna collaborate with everybody. But find your tribe and collaborate with them.
Find your tribe. Damn, I love that. Okay. So now, as someone who's been through various eras in South African pop culture, and you've seen it transform. But you've remained, like, your power has amplified. And maybe it's not something that you consciously, as the person with the power, is like aware of, but it's amplified and gotten more potent over time through these different eras, right? What is the key to longevity? Because I feel like so many kids today are their concern is getting hot, getting on. But you're one of the individuals who's cracked the real key to longevity. So what do you think is the key? Maybe it's your key, but what is the key to longevity and consistently reinventing yourself through the eras?
Yeah, I can't really like say what is the key, but I can talk about what is my
Your
key.
key, yeah.
I think not watching myself helps. I think not listening to myself helps. I don't know how to explain it because it allows everything to feel as new and as plain as life is. I don't get caught up into who I am because then you would box yourself in.
Yes,
you
yes.
know? I also think that, and because of that, I treat my first like my last.
I feel you.
You know?
I feel you.
Like I never rolled in the limo, like I just dropped flows to a demo.
Yes.
Like it's 92 again, and I got O's in the rental. Black in the stew again, no problemo. Was a whole lot simple when you think back, when you thought that you would never make it this far, then you take advantage of the luck you handed or the talent you've been given. Ain't no half-stepping, ain't no slipping. Ain't no different from a blockers getting, gotta get it while they're getting good, gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And the crazy thing is, the other term is you don't strike when the iron's hot. You strike until
It's hard.
that changed my life. That changed my life.
So keep
At it. Don't stop. Yeah. So yeah, I think that, and I have this childlike reverence for things that I love. They never get old to me. When I love it, it always feels like the first time. And that's why I've got love tattooed on my knuckles. Like it's a frequency that I resonate with so much. You know, had a lot of it growing up. Know how to give it and receive it.
Yes.
Know when it's not the real one.
Yes.
You know, because I've got some good love behind me. You know,
hear that.
shout outs to my family.
I hear that.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And because of the sports background, right? Jordan was just not comfortable winning one championship. He had to do it 3 times, take his 2-year break, came back and did it another 3 times. So because of the sports and even hip hop, okay, your first album was dope. What's your sophomore album gonna look like? So that outdo your last.
Yes.
If you're a champion, do it again. Do it again, Danny.
Show us that it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, because so many people are just so focused on like, yo, I need to get on, I need to have a viral moment, I need to, but
Even when I started, I said to myself, I don't want to just get on, I want to last long.
Longevity.
Even when I started.
That's the key.
Yeah, I remember saying that to myself. And so much so that, you know, I never used to do interviews. I only started doing interviews after 10 years in the game.
In the game, okay.
Because that's what I said to myself. I'm like, if you are here after 10 years and you're still this nice, then you know that you are who you think you are.
You think you are.
Because 10 years is a decade. They got a term for it. That's quite a long time.
Yeah.
So after 10 years, you can then go and start talking.
Yeah.
But in between those 10 years, you got to be verifying.
I hear
You know?
that.
Yeah.
Damn. In a time when, what can I say? Subcultures, purists are being drowned out by the homogeny that youth, because now youth culture has become global culture, which has become one culture because of internet culture. How do you keep your antenna? Because I believe personally that ideas come from the ether. How do you keep your antenna clear enough to know that this is a great idea and I'm not being influenced by the machine of the internet and culture and everyone likes the same thing. How do you still keep your antenna like clear and ready for great ideas?
That's also a good question. I think one of the things that I have started, or well, not one of the things that I've started, but one of the things I've realized is taking care of yourself is a great way. Yeah,
Health is your wealth, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you can be able to have the right frequency for things to find you. That's number one. Number two, I've always been a guy that swam upstream. When there's too many people this way, even if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna go the other way.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll find out later.
Okay.
You know? I've always been the guy to wanna go plant my flag somewhere where it's not trodden on, you know? And then also, just being fortunate enough to be the person that I am and made the choices that I've made that then allowed people who are as dope and sometimes even doper than me in various diverse fields and skills and attributes, and they inspire me, you know. I'm always inspired,
Yes.
but it's also I know where to go find my inspiration, you know what I mean? So I've been fortunate to be surrounded by some mean motherfuckers.
Yeah, I feel that. And they make sure that your antenna is like, yo.
I make sure because I want to feel like a mean motherfucker around them
Yes,
too.
I feel you, I feel you.
Yeah.
Damn. So I want to pivot and talk about something that I think is super important, right? We're living through a time where people have placed money above everything, right? It is literally it's replaced God, and now people worship money, right? But I have a feeling and an understanding that as a human, money is the least valuable form of currency that we have in interacting with each other. What's your most valuable form of currency? Because money is the least valuable thing. And I really believe that. Like, I really, really believe that.
My most valuable form of currency is love.
Love. I feel that.
I honestly believe that. You know, that's my most valuable form of currency. Yeah, man, utando.
And it's the thing that allows you to still be, number one, still be here, still be able to connect with various generations. Makes sense.
Because of the love.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That
like,
keeps me
here.
here in longevity because the love.
I hear that.
You know, the love for self, the love for what self has done, the love for what self has to do, the love for the love I get from doing what I'm doing.
I hear that. I hear that.
The love, man.
Yeah, that's the currency.
The love, dog. It's the love.
I love that,
Yeah.
bro. I love that. Shit. Can we?
And the crazy thing is, right, because the ability to love is there, best believe the ability to have the opposite emotion for someone
1000%.
also exists. Yeah.
Yin and yang, it exists, right?
Yeah. Best believe, and it also is entertained, just like the love is entertained. That opposite emotion.
Yeah, it's also
when
entertained.
It is also entertained.
I understand, sir. I understand. Yes, because what's the saying? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So your love makes you a warrior in the garden and not the other way around. I understand. I understand. I understand.
Nice one.
I understand. Okay, so present day Scoop, right? I see that you're working with 83 Capital. Please tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
83 Capital is a company that was started by a gentleman by the name of Mabanga from Durban. And he started off with a sports and entertainment conference, which was held at the Sandton Convention Center in conjunction with Harvard.
Okay, dope, dope.
Then he did the A1 Grand Prix at Kailami. He also did a stint with the Delicious Festival.
Okay.
And he has a great arm to 83 Capital, which is called a parenting conference type vibe, where it's a conference about parenting.
Okay,
you
dope.
know?
I love that.
It's beautiful.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then he's also got links with Bayern Munich in Europe, where he has just taken some kids to go train there and get some schooling. And one of the kids is actually living there now from that program. So Stay also very involved and in the piano conference that
Tulani
is also
okay.
there, right? So Stay is a sportsman by nature.
He's omnipresent.
Omnipresent. What a smart gentleman.
Okay.
And so he works with a team of people, you know, and he actually did the opposite of what you are told not to do, which is he worked with his friends and his family, you know. Great group of people, 83 Capital. And so 3 years ago he said, I'm gonna start an agency and I want you to head it. And it took 3 years for the dream to materialize. I even got impatient. I'm very impatient. I want it now.
I hear that. I hear that.
This guy had to wait for too long.
I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And finally we did the 83 agency, which I'm the creative director for. We did our first job with African Bank. Totally killed that. A lot of things are in the pipeline right now. I won't say much because we haven't inked anything, so I don't want to say too much.
Nah, definitely don't.
You know, that's 83 Capital and that's 83 agency. So shout outs Te, shout outs Ndogozo, shout outs Katlego, shout outs Obrimnisi, shout outs Shoes Mabanga, shout outs Mambuhle Mabanga. Oh, and in the 83 Capital tree umbrella, there's also a wellness leg called Nomvula Wellbeing, which is ran by Stere's wife. Her name is Buhle. It's yoga, it's food, it's all of those things, right? It's amazing, right?
Okay.
It's all inclusive, this place. Then also, I forgot, there's another leg of something called Sisterhood Connect, which is just about the ladies and them connecting. They just had an event in Cape Town, which was at the end of last month. That is ran by a lady named Tops, and she works in conjunction with an amazing lady called Ushengiwe. It was totally mind-blowing. So that is 83.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously us, we've been seeing you posted and we're like, okay, this is the new era of Scoop. Like I said, you're always like, you think about things in eras, which is like so fire.
Thanks,
actually.
Tim.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people you know the most
Yes.
are not the ones to offer the help, you know. And I've known this man for a long time. And it means a lot for him to go, yo, let's go.
Pull up. Yeah.
So shout outs, my nigga.
I love that. I love that. As someone who's always been ahead of the curve, innovator, first adopter, what's the price of being an innovator? What do you care, or should you even care for your flowers in real time as an innovator?
Yeah, I definitely care, but the care is not something I am hinged on, but I definitely care. And at an early age, I realized that I have to make my own garden. And that's also why the GQ award was so big.
Congrats.
Yeah, that was big because it verified the flowers.
Yes.
After tending to my garden for so long.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That was big. And I'd won the GQ award before, but this was the icon award.
Yes.
This is, you know what I mean? It's on another level.
Yes.
I'm not the guy that wears most expensive brands. I'm a thrifter. You know what I mean? For that was just like a, I don't know what, it was a naughty badge, you know?
Yo, shout out to GQ for finally, like, because the streets, us as the streets, we long knew.
I feel you.
We long knew.
Yeah.
But it's great for a platform like that to be like, yo, Scoop, here your flowers.
They really putting effort to becoming representative of what actually, because I feel like it's happening where there's TV, where the media is involved, they are not moving at the pace and the speed of culture.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I GQ is really moving and shaking. And even that the streetwear category, content creator category, cultural impact. It was couples, it was really, really dope.
Yes.
The price you pay for being
an
innovator is, for me, the price I've paid is spending a lot of money to stay ahead.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I feel you.
Money has been spent to stay ahead.
Yeah.
Money is still being spent to stay ahead. The other price you pay is being laughed at,
being ridiculed
until you're being
everyone
beaten.
else catches up.
Yeah. And also never getting your flowers, even though you are being bitten, but they still won't give you your flowers.
Which is why I asked you about the flowers thing, because like it must be so tough creating, not only being ahead, but also clearing the path for niggas to come and walk through, and then they don't even say thank you.
And they don't, bro. They don't. And I think that for me has been one of the most hardest lessons, also because I'm such a love-orientated, appreciative person. I never, oh, thank you. Siyabonga. My name. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that one definitely hurts when people were not who they are, and you saw them before they saw themselves, and you were there for them when they needed something and someone, and then when they get to where they get to, and they act like you never even existed in their lives. That has been tough, and it's happened so many times.
I hear that.
To the point where, of late, I've realized maybe sometimes they didn't love you, obviously. You were just being used as a ladder for them to get where they wanted to get, you know? That one does hurt.
Yeah,
That's why the Stay 83 Capital Agency has so much more weight.
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Yeah,
I hear
dog,
that.
it's happened so many times.
I'm sure it has. Like, bro, like you've been so ahead for so long, have put on so many people, and I know how this game works. I know how people use people and discard them.
And even like down to with the being the innovator and getting bitten, I think there's a difference, because people will say, don't worry, imitation is the best form of flattery, and I get where they're coming from, but I disagree a bit, you know, because it's Joburg. The way I speak, an advert can use my lingo, that's money. The way I dress, that's money. The way I drink, what I drink.
Your taste
is money in Joburg, right? So if you're biting me and imitating me, but you won't even support me. Yes, people come privately and go, yo man, but no, do it publicly. Because when you do it publicly, you let everybody know that this is where the work is at.
That's where the source is.
You understand?
Yes.
The SOURSCE of the SAWCE.
Yes.
No, SAUCE.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
It matters.
Yes, sir.
That is why I am adamant about liking pictures and commenting. And I'm adamant about speaking about people that do dope things. And I'm adamant about posting somebody on my page, because that is what moves the needle. You can't come tell me in private.
Yes.
Go say it out there.
Out there in the world.
You understand?
Yes.
And there is a difference. Imitation is not appreciation. Imitation is theft.
Yes.
Especially if you are not going to profess the person
where you
are
got
in.
it from.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So miss me with that imitation
Yes,
with no appreciation.
Yes, sir.
When someone's appreciating you, they're gonna let everybody know, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for this.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
And because of the culture, the eyes, the agencies, the money involved in the cool and the scene, if everybody does right and say where they got it from, and that's why they don't do it, because where would the money go? They're gonna go to one guy, you know? And not just me alone, there's other people.
Yes. There's other source codes.
Yeah, can I get some dead water, please?
Please.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I hear that. And I just personally would like to thank you for who you've been to South African culture, to South African youth culture. Like, you've been such a beacon, and sometimes I worry that, fuck, does Scoop feel the love? Like, thank you. Does Scoop feel
I do, bro.
the love?
I do,
Because we all love you, Scoop. Like,
thank you,
even
man.
the niggas who steal from you, even the niggas,
they love me the most.
they love you the most. Like, so I always think about, like, fuck, does Scoop actually feel the love? Because like you said, you're one of the people who's never afraid to share a platform with someone, share light on someone who's really dope. And like, if no one has ever told you thank you on behalf of black culture, thank you, sir.
Jabulela,
Thank you.
Jabulela,
Ralebo.
Jabulela in mfethu kakhulu.
Ralebo.
I do feel the love, you know. It doesn't come from the game, you know. Those are some of the fakest people on earth.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
The love, and that's what, when I got in the game, I really wanted, because of what the music did for me, because of what Park did for me, because of what Jordan did for me, because of the impact Martin had on me. I was like, when I get into this thing, my greatest reward is going to have kids coming to me and going, yo, dog, you changed my life. And honestly, it happens every day. And I thank those kids so much. I thank those kids so much, bro, because it means a lot to me, dog. It means a lot to me. Just to hear that, yo man, changed my life. Don't dress the same, don't think the same. And then it travels from being cool in clothes to then being spirituality. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's when Scoop really became the most valuable person in culture. You see, when you actually, and that was an era for you, when you went from like strictly Jordans, and then I started seeing Scoop now leaning towards that question you ask of what we need to do. Who are we? As a melanated person, who are you? And I was just like, yo, shout out to Scoop for being the person who's going to rewire these black kids' brains to be like, yo, bro, actually, let me go back home. Let me go talk to my grandmother and find out how to dog. Actually, who are we? Who am I? That for me was the most valuable thing that Scoop started doing.
For me too. For me too, just for me and my well-being.
Yes.
Made a lot of mistakes, dog. You know? Made a lot of mistakes. The fame, the money, the cool, the jig, the talent, the shine, the gloss.
Yeah.
Made a lot of mistakes, you know. Made a lot of mistakes. Messed up a lot of relationships. I needed to solve something. I needed to solve. And the crazy thing is, I always knew that it was coming, this thing of getting into my culture. And my whole thing was I never had an example of someone who would dress like me, think like me, but still be rooted in culture.
Hybrid.
Yeah, the hybrid. And because it didn't exist, I didn't think it would be a thing to do, because I'm like, your audience is gonna be so different. I'm like, man, fucking audience.
Yeah, fucking audience. Yeah.
And I was also like, and this is also when I realized that when you see the problem, you are the solution. Don't wait for someone else to do it. And that's also how businesses are started.
Yes,
it's
literally.
Solve the problem, then it becomes a business.
Yes.
So
yes, sir.
That's been amazing for me, that journey, which never ends.
Yes.
It never, ever ends. And it's something that was instilled in me, I think, by my dad, because he's very cultural.
Yes.
My mom is quite religious.
Yes, sir.
But my dad was extremely cultural. And I always had an inclination to be close to the creator, because I know that if I want to be the best, I have to go to the person that made me.
The source,
exactly.
once again.
Exactly.
Yes,
that's why I also got into the Christianity and the church.
I understand.
But then trampolined off because I was getting into African history.
Yes,
I'm like, this is not the one. So, yeah, shout out Pops.
Yo, damn, like, thank you for that, bro. Like, cause I saw it and I was just like, yo, Scoop, actually, niggas might not see it, but this is the most valuable thing Scoop is doing, bro.
And the kicks had to go because I needed to be someone else. And I was not gonna find that person wearing the same
With the
shoes.
jeans.
Yeah.
Ooh, the kaleidoscope. Okay, let's switch again. Every guest who comes on Dead Radio, I speak to them about the evolution of dreams, right? I'm very interested in how people's dreams evolve. Like, you had the sports dream, which then led you to TV, which then opened the fashion dream, which then opened the culture dream. And as someone who's achieved so many goals, so many points, what's a new dream for Scoop today that you didn't have 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago? Because dreams are always evolving.
Yeah.
What's a new dream for Scoop today?
I have a different scope. There's different dreams. I think the one is to be a dope creative director, you know.
Which you're doing right
Which
now.
I'm doing right now.
83 Capital.
Exactly,
Understood,
myself.
sir.
The other dream is to get better at being a father. or never stop getting better
Yes,
at being a
yes.
father.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the other dream, yeah, I really want to make clothes, man.
Yes.
I
yes.
really want to make clothes.
So pieces in 2012, I believe, I remember it. Life is long, right? And sometimes a dream is not right now. Okay, I understand.
And when I was doing all of those things, it
Yes,
was like
sir.
I was putting myself through school.
Yes, yes.
The Ama Kip Kip,
Tuition,
the pieces,
yes.
going overseas, making them. It was like, okay, I'll come back to that knowledge later. I did it. Now
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you know.
Yes, sir.
So I really want to make clothes.
Okay.
I really would love for a company to try me at a capsule collection and see how it goes. If it works, keep me. If it doesn't,
Keep it moving.
I must go.
You didn't
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
anything. Yeah,
straight up. But clothing I really want to do.
Okay.
And the other dream is definitely getting better and more well versed around and about this thing of mine that is the Xhosa culture, which is then the African culture as a whole. Like, yeah, it's very important for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Bro, this has been such a great, enlightening conversation. Thank you, sir.
Kubulela mna
Thank you.
mfethu, kubulela mna kakhulu.
Thank you.
And I really love, you know,
Thank you.
good interviews let the people watching know what's up, you know, and get to know you a bit better. But great interviews is when you leave that couch and you get to know yourself a little bit
I
better.
understand,
So
sir.
great questions,
I understand,
amazing questions, you know.
understand,
And you are so present, and I'm thankful. So shout outs to Opangi as well.
Hey.
Known him for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Was one of the first members to buy his clothes.
Facts,
Still
facts,
have
facts.
a
The
bulk
pieces.
of them
The
at the
pieces.
crib.
Shout out.
And I remember when I was doing Catching Waves and he did an interview with
Oh,
me.
yes.
And he's been asking me to do this for some time, and I've been saying, I'm coming. And I'm glad that I finally fulfilled my obligation and word.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And thank him for being that nigga too.
Shout out.
Abulel.
Shout out.
Shouts to the team. Solid.
As we wind this down, right? What's your last piece of advice to the black kid out there? Our moment is right now to impact the world. We've never had a greater chance. There's never been a greater chance for you to step into your melanin and become who you actually are, right? So what's your last piece of advice to the dreamers out there?
Obey those dreams. You know, they say that your gut is your second brain. If you look at your intestines and your brain, they actually look alike.
Yes.
Obey those gut feelings.
Yes.
Obey those instincts. Obey that intuition.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fail forward. Find a tribe. It's scientifically proven. You live longer when in a tribe. People are more happier in a tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They achieve greater things collectively in a
yes,
tribe.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Stress is managed because it sits on the shoulders of the tribe
We
and
share
not just
it.
the you know.
We share it. We share it.
And also, get to know who you are, man. Otherwise, you are lost here. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. I'm here for the good fight. Only the fakes run. I'm here for the Purple Heart. If I couldn't take one for my team or my siblings, what's my reason for living? I love my niggas more than anything else. And this war is about our families, us needing the wealth. You don't understand how useless as men we felt till we became some 5-star generals. Shout out to my niggas that's locked in jail. POWs, that's still in the war for real.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Before you do close it, I was very apprehensive about how the interview was gonna go, né? Because with these spaces as podcasting and interviews, the platform needs its sound bites.
Yes, yes.
And the more honest the interviewee is, the platform, but you can't be too honest, because then maybe the platform now can't play it.
Yes.
It's crazy, right? And the platform gains its numbers from the honesty or you meandering.
The virality.
You know what I mean? And then on the other side, you as the subject, the interviewee, if you're too honest, which has happened to me before, then you get ostracized from work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I was thinking like maybe I would have to tell you that maybe sometimes when you ask me a question, I was gonna put out a disclaimer saying I won't be able to answer that without putting myself or someone in jeopardy. But there was no question that.
Yes, that's not the platform that we have. Actually, this platform is for building and not destroying.
Got you.
And I had a feeling that, is Scoop gonna be worried that we're gonna try and use him?
Yeah, because it's happened.
Yes,
it's happened.
I understand that.
And I don't do much explaining.
Yes.
You know, I just keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
yeah, so I'm really happy, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
It means the world to me, and so there's something I wanted to do. I wanted to do this before.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The show, but
with the Cactus Jack.
You understand that love is tremendous.
I understand. Ooh. I've seen this before. Please break this down to me, sir. What is this?
So it's like, do you know sound bowl heating?
Yes, yes.
Your body is an instrument of note, you know?
Yes.
And so it works on vibrations and frequencies,
yes,
you know? And so this is it's tuned to a certain frequency. There's different frequencies, you know? I don't know exactly what this one is, but obviously it does something. Because usually, back in the day, people got healed through sound.
Yes,
you know?
Yes. There's even a theory that they built the pyramids using sound.
Yes.
But that's another conversation.
For another day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's quite a calming effect.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how it's gonna feel, but just breathe. Again. Last one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's dope. Speaking of Cactus Jack, I think it's a segue to that thing.
Yes. Do you remember this gentleman? Taylor.
I don't. I won't lie. I don't.
So his one and only painting is the one that you have.
Which one?
The Travis and Scoop one.
Oh, what do you mean his one and only painting?
He's literally never painted another painting ever again.
It's crazy we're talking about Travis Scott and the Cactus Jack.
And the Cactus Jack.
I remember this gentleman, and he gave me this painting. He came to multi-choice.
Yes, multi-choice. Yeah, it was me and him actually. It was me and him.
No way.
Yes, it was me and him.
That painting still hangs in my wardrobe room at home, and I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to you guys. It would be great if you're going to put it right here.
Thank you, sir.
My
sir,
guys.
Thank you so much.
My
sir.
guys.
Thank you so much, sir.
My guys, I can't believe that. Yo, nigga, can you come here? Can they see you?
Hop on camera, dog. Hop on camera.
Yeah. This is the dude.
Yo.
One painting and one painting only.
Literally.
Titi.
One.
Boss out here. I appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
sir.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Even
sir.
with Travis Scott, right? How early I was on that. How early I was on that.
Yo, okay, let me not lie to you. You can ask this gentleman. In 2012, I was ahead of everyone. And I was just, I think I heard upper echelon once, and I was like, bro, this guy, he's the one. Literally. Like, and then when people want to talk about Kanye, I mean, Travis got his influence from Kanye, but Kanye also got it from
Travis, for sure.
Like that dark sound,
For sure.
that comes from his mind.
For sure.
You get me?
And I
Like,
love how Travis does mention Kid Cudi. And
Yes.
he
Oh,
makes
1000%.
sure.
He's one of the people who acknowledges where the source is.
Yeah. How many kids came out of Kanye's nuts?
Yo. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with another episode of Dead Radio from your boy Ini.
And you're live on Dead Radio.